like they're getting chased and about to be mutilated by the witch. So, yeah, sometimes you have to push them, and you will stay out there that 10 and 12 hours.
Interesting. Now, do you get your movies, do they ever get really bloody?
No, we stay away from a lot of the blood. We stay more towards the scary side. We've had some movies with blood in it, but not like a whole lot, you know?
You know, I think a lot of times for me, like, again, I go back to the personal experiences that terrified me when I was really young, or stuff that he's told me about in his life. And a lot of it was unseen as far as blood goes, but it was enough to scare the skin off of you, you know. It just was so eerie that's why I tend to not do a lot of blood in my movies. I find it to be distracting at times for us, the way that we shoot. It just brings a different energy to it to keep it less bloody and more, what could this be here that is affecting this individual in the movie? What is it?
Interesting. Now, how many movies have you now, I'm not talking documentaries, but actual movies, how many have you done so far?
Probably about, I would say about 15 horror movies, but overall about 68 productions. And that's, you know, our TV shows, documentaries, things like that.
Now, can you want to tell the people where they can find some of these horror movies?
Yep, they can find them on Devil Dog Film and Movie Productions, and then they can find them on Madam Della Psychic.com, and then they can go to Amazon Prime, Real House, and probably some other locations now that we've become affiliated with some Beverly Hills production houses.
And documentaries, where has some of your documentaries been shown on?
Amazon, Real House, our websites. That's a couple of them were like Life After Life, Area 51.
Now, Area 51, what's that about?
Mm-hmm.
That's
a good one.
We had fun there. Let's just say that. You know, we had so much fun that we got chased by the big black van.
It was an SUV to be exact, but we spent a week out in Area 51, and we delved into some very, very in-depth investigative techniques and monitoring of the areas, and we were out until 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, and we got chased by the SUV guys, and we learned things.
Did you step into Area 51 by any chance?
Oh, no.
Very, very close.
You're lucky.
What's funny is, you jump out of your car and the cameras.
It's fun.
The the signs are everywhere, no filming, and I film the sign that says no filming.
Yeah, but
the whole time you're sweating bullets going, oh my goodness. We're going to be in trouble.
Well, yeah. The reason why I said that, about 6 months ago, a guy was on Area 51, and, their security team shot him.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. We came very, very, very close, Gary, and we actually had a rental. We had a brand-new Camaro at the time.
And I hauled.
And I'm surprised we didn't wreck out. I'm surprised we didn't wreck out trying to get away from them. And after you hit a certain line coming out, though, they stop. And they turn around and retreat back. They just leave you alone.
Well, yeah, because they're going to come off of government property, and you just get off of government property and keep on rolling.
Well, I made the mistake a couple years ago, maybe about 4 years ago. I went up to see my friend up there, and, I took this back road, and I didn't realize I went into Area 51 maybe about 1,000 feet, and then all of a sudden I saw one of their vehicles coming really fast, and, I quickly turned my motorcycle around and got out of there.
Uh-huh.
We had a couple really strange experiences while we were there.
Big time.
That, we kind of looked at in depth when we had a chance to review, what we had gotten into. That we still really can't explain a couple of them.
Well, what happened?
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, here's my from the law enforcement side. I felt like the little diner was a front.
Yeah, it didn't feel real.
It didn't feel real. The town we know was a test site, so of course everything is mannequins and cars and all kinds of craziness. And
that was Rachel about it, right?
yeah, and so I told her, I said, I almost feel like this diner's a front. So when we go to head out to the gate, he's going to get on the phone, say I got 2 coming out there, blah blah blah. And when we come back to the diner, I said, yeah, they chased us. And the guy goes, yeah, that happens. And he went on about his business, cleaning his diner.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, it was kind of weird.
That was just, the minimal. Like, the weird thing that really happened was when we were driving out one night, it was really, really late. I think it was like 3:45 in the morning. And we were exhausted, and we said, we're going to head back out. We're going to head back into Las Vegas. We're going to get back to the hotel. And I kid you not, there was a white ball of light that came behind our vehicle. It was about the size of a softball, and it never stopped on our tail of our car. And then we were both like, oh my God, what is this light, right? We're watching it, and I'm grabbing a camera to turn and film it. At the same time, the strangest thing happened. The energy changed on the highway we were on, and it was a very desolate highway.
Yeah.
Every animal that you could have thought of, it was like Noah's Ark let out. Every animal that was in that desert was ramming into our vehicle. We had a jackrabbit ram into our car. We had what was that big deer thing?
Like an elk.
Like a giant, I thought it was an antelope or something, but
no, it was big.
It was like our car was attracting
a magnet.
We had birds, Gary.
Yep, birds.
Birds at that hour.
Yep.
That were nailing our car.
Like two hit our car.
So we wanted to get the heck back to the hotel, and then after we get back to the hotel, we didn't know where like a couple hours had went. We had no idea. None.
It disappeared.
And I always say to JB now, and he laughs at me, and I'll say, do you think we were, the A word? Do you think we were abducted? Because we had about 3 hours of time that we do not remember whatsoever. Nothing. And the more you try to remember it, you can't get that. So I couldn't wait to get back home.
Right.
After that. I couldn't wait to get back home.
Did any of that kind of like cool your jets on the paranormal for a little while after that experience?
On the alien stuff, yeah.
Well, no. What about our bedroom?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Gary,
I can't believe that you remember that.
Not too long ago, a couple months ago.
It's happened twice.
It's happened twice since we've been back. But a couple months ago, we both woke up at the same time. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning.
It's like 3 a.m.
There was a scanning in our room.
Yeah, scanning.
Scanning, like a scanner. And it's not an alarm or nothing. It was a scanner. We both jumped up out of bed and was looking and then disappeared.
That would be scary.
Very
scary.
The second time it happened, we both woke up, and we tend to wake up in synchronicity. And we woke up, and it sounded like a Walmart scanner, like when someone's scanning a product. And he was awake, and I touched his arm, and I said, are you awake? He goes, yeah. And I said, do you hear that? And he said, yeah. And he goes, what is it? And we both, we don't know what it was, but we have nothing in our home that would be making that kind of noise.
Make that noise.
Now, JB,
and he's a security freak, so we have 21 cameras in our house, and we actually had that same night. We went back to sleep, and it wasn't too long after that incident that our fire alarm started going off in our house. So he jumped up and went running around in his underwear, trying to see what was in the house, and nothing was going on. There was nothing going on, but yet the fire alarms triggered all over the house. Every single one went off.
Now,
so
when did you...
It was very, very strange, and it just gave you that weird off feeling, like, what did we get into here with our Vegas trip?
Yeah. When was you at Vegas? When did you guys go? How long ago?
2015, I believe. Let's see. Yep.
It was at least 4,
yeah. Yeah, I think it was 2015.
Yeah, well, one thing I would have done myself, I would have took a compass and took that compass all up and down your whole body and see if you got any weird readings off of it. Maybe if you were implanted or something. The reason why I say that, one of the hosts I used to have on my show, he was a lawyer, or is a lawyer in Washington State. He actually was a judge pro tem So very credible person. They went to Mount Adams last year, and they had a sighting of a UFO. And they said that a light, like a laser light, blue light, shot out on the side of it. And then it took off. And then, he decided to go to bed. He was staying in a friend's camper, tent, trailer type of thing. And he sleeps with a CPAP machine to help him, breathe and when he's sleeping. And all of a sudden, the alarm went off. It went dead, which it shouldn't have done. So his friend said, okay, well, I'll change batteries. He went to go out and use the bathroom, which was a makeshift bathroom right outside of the camper. And evidently he was gone for a couple hours, and he only went out there to urinate. He comes back, and the time, he couldn't account for his time. His friend said, well, you were gone for a couple hours. And what was also interesting, he had one of these watches with the phosphorus coating on it. So, when it's subject to bright light, it'll glow for a while. But after about 30 minutes, it goes dim, it goes out. He said that it was brightly glowing, brighter than ever. And then when I was interviewing him on my show, I asked him, I said, well, have you decided, or have you ever used a compass on you? So he went and got a compass, and I said, okay, well, rub it up, your arm on one side, go the other side. Well, on the left arm, it went crazy. Now, then he tells me that next morning he had like a little triangle puncture marks on his wrist. What was interesting is then I said, okay, well, what were you wearing? He goes, I was wearing steel-toed boots. Again, he went to the compass on the right side, nothing. He went to the left side, it went crazy. Now, what more interesting, that next morning, one of the cars wouldn't start. But people started noticing with their compasses it was going crazy next to this car. So they moved the car away. The ground wasn't going crazy. They went to the car, and it went crazy. So when they got back, they took it to the dealership, and they said, there's no way this car could be magnetized. They checked it, and it was magnetized. So they got curious and went to the, in the car lot and started checking cars. None of them were magnetized. So something strange happened. And that's why I was mentioning with you guys. You guys could have been abducted. You could have been implanted or something. And that's why you heard that scanner noise. They're keeping track of you.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a possibility, isn't it? That's kind of
I'm going to have to get me a compass. Get me a compass.
Yeah, I would. Yeah. Hey, now we're down to the last 5 minutes. I want you to go ahead. If you have any books, whatever movies you want, go ahead and tell the people where they can get them, the website, your Facebook, whatever you want to do. You got 5 minutes to go ahead and share it to everybody.
They can go to Amazon Kindle, Barnes & Noble for the books, and they can go to www.Devil Dog Film and Movie Productions for some of our TV shows and movies, as well as Amazon Prime, Real House, and then they can go to Madam Della, MasterPsychicWitch.com for some of her books and movies and TV shows, documentaries. And then they can watch our TV show, paranormal show, called Ghostaholics Crew. There's probably about 10 to 15 episodes on Amazon Prime. And, of course, there's more on our websites because we'll take them down once, they start getting older. We'll take them down and put them on the websites.
And what book did you write, JB?
JB, Cop to Paranormal Researcher.
Interesting. Well, it sounds like you got a whole plate full there. One thing I will say, James out there says you guys could get, go through a regression and maybe find out what happened to you guys at Area 51.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever thought about that one?
We did talk about that, didn't we?
I talked about it a few years ago.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to go all the way back, not just for Area 51, but I wanted to take myself back to childhood with the incidents that I had as a little tiny girl. But then I decided to close with it. But
Yeah.
Well,
That's a thought, though. I might have to